This video is an example of how to solve a linear inequality, graph, and write the answer using interval notation. When we see inequalities, we can work with them the exact same way we would an equation. We'll try to isolate the x, first by moving the 4. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, giving me 2x is greater than or equal to 2. Sorry, negative 2x is greater than or equal to 2. Now, in order to get the negative 2 away from the x, we'll have to divide both sides by negative 2. When you multiply or divide by a negative number with an inequality, you're going to flip the inequality. Since this one is greater than, we'll flip it to less than or equal to. And 2 divided by negative 2 here is negative 1. This is our solution. We're going to take a look at the graph in order to then help us write the interval notation. So we're going to graph x is less than or equal to negative 1. So I'm going to label my number line here with negative 1 and numbers around negative 1. Since the equal to is underneath the inequality, we want to be sure and include the negative 1 as part of our answer. We can denote that by placing a circle here at negative 1 and coloring it in. This shows that negative 1 is part of the solution set. Since x is to be less than or equal to negative 1, we want the numbers on the number line that are less than negative 1. And that means we'll shade to the left here. Notice that I've shaded all of the numbers that are less than negative 1. Now, to write this using an interval notation, we're going to use two numbers. We have to denote where the interval starts and where the interval ends. Since this interval continues on to the left, it's going to continue going until negative infinity. And this is where my interval begins. It will end at negative 1. But we've got to be careful for notation here. Infinities, or negative infinity, always gets a parenthesis, meaning that it is not included, because we can't actually reach negative infinity. Negative 1, on the other hand, should be included as part of the solution set, and we use a bracket to denote that. So the solution, x is less than or equal to negative 1, will graph, and we can write the interval notation to represent the solution set as well.